Good morning, good morning. This is the Ray. This is the Austin Collab Money Talk. Happy Wednesday, happy hump day. Hope that everyone is out there having a great day, having a great week. Hope your week is filled with productivity and positivity and peace and love. Really excited about today's show. We are live on the Fishbowl Radio Network in beautiful Arlington, Texas. Also streaming live on Facebook as well. You can catch us on there. Got a really exciting show planned today. We're going to be discussing the reasons, or a few reasons, why I believe that we should be teaching our children about money. This is the Austin Collab Money Talk, so obviously we want to talk a lot about financial education and really want to stress the point of teaching financial literacy to our youth, to our future. There was a lot of things that I wish I was taught coming out of high school, or also while I was in college as well, that I wish I would have known. So we are going to be discussing a few reasons why I think we should be teaching our children about money. I also have a very special guest that's going to be in the studio with me, Delano Mulkey. He's with the Village Mortgage Group. He's in that industry. He's involved in learning about real estate. So we're going to bring him in. We're going to ask him a lot of questions, especially about the home buying process. I got a chance to witness a portion of that process, but there's still a lot of questions that I have lingering. So we're going to bring him in. We're going to ask him about that. This brother is extremely positive. He has the right mindset. He's all about motivation, positivity, and just producing great results. So we're going to bring him in later on in the show after 12 my time. So definitely check us out. We are streaming live on the Fishbowl Radio Network. That's fbrn.us. Also streaming live on Facebook. I'm going to play a couple more songs, and then I'm going to come back, and we're going to just talk about the reasons why we need to be teaching our children about money. This is one of my favorite songs here. It's by an artist called Sango. It's called How Do You Love Me? What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let me know if y'all can't hear me. Gonna have a special guest in studio later today, Delano Mulkey. He'll be joining me a little bit after noon or around noon. So definitely check us out. He's with the Village Mortgage Group. I got that up there in my status. He's involved in real estate, a really positive dude. I'm trying my best to surround myself with positive, like-minded individuals. There's too much negativity out there on the news, even on Facebook, on social media. There's, a lot of negativity going, so it's important that you surround yourself with positive individuals. It's all about, me and my cousin was talking about this on Sunday, it's all about being on that right frequency, that right vibration. And you can sense it when you get around someone who's like that. You can feel that positive energy. People gravitate toward that. You definitely want to make sure that you're maintaining a positive attitude. Has a lot to do with how successful you will eventually be. So we're going to bring him in, ask him a few questions. I'm about to jump in here and talk a little bit about reasons why we need to teach our kids about money. It's warm in here. Let me go turn this fan on. What everybody got going on this week? What y'all working on? What goals y'all got? What you working toward? About to jump back here in a second. We're going to go ahead and jump in there. We're going to go over 6 reasons why we need to teach our kids about money. Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm live right now on the radio, also streaming live on Facebook. Check me out. Hey, y'all check me out on Snapchat, the Austin Collab. Follow me on Instagram, the Austin Collab. We about to jump in here, get started. What's up, everybody who's tuned in? Check me out. Sean, what's up, baby? Micah. My boy Kevin Kelly. Hey, we went to high school together. What's up, man? How you doing? Hey, we live right now. Tune in, fbrn.us. Or you can check us out on here. We are live, streaming on Facebook. What up, cuzzo? About to get started here in a second. Hey, shout out to everyone who's, checked me out before. Thanks to everyone who's texted me, called me, messaged me, all the positive words of encouragement and affirmation. I appreciate it so much, for real. This entrepreneur thing isn't easy, so you need all the positivity and encouragement that you can get around you. So I appreciate everyone who's helped me in some way. Thank you, for real. I appreciate it. Much love. Sending blessings and positivity to everyone out there, baby. Let me scoot this a little closer so y'all can hear me. Yeah, it's mobile, baby. Good morning. That was Big Sean. One Man Can Change the World. Initially, I wasn't actually a fan of his, but his last few projects really just inspired me and motivated me to, just to strive for success. So a lot of the music that I listen to is, from artists who are, trying to motivate you, to inspire you and encourage you to, to do better and to reach your goals and to be successful. This is the Ray. This is the Austin Collab Money Talk. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Shout out to everyone checking us out live on Facebook. And if you're tuning in, listening, I appreciate you as well. We are on the Fishbowl Radio Network. That is fbrn.us. I'm live on the Gray Stream. And again, this is the Austin Collab Money Talk. Like I said, we have a really exciting show planned for today. The first thing that I want to talk about is 6 reasons why I think we need to be teaching our children about money. This is actually this is actually in a blog post that I had published back at the beginning of the year. I probably wrote it sometime last year, but I posted it at the beginning of the year on my website and got a lot of positive feedback. I had a few people, comment or message me directly and said that, they thought it was good information. So I said, why not share it again? This time live on Facebook and on the radio show. So again, the subject that I want to talk about is 6 reasons why we need to teach our children about money. So, when you begin to consider the topic of money, there are many different views and ideas. And many of our philosophies about, money and currency and how it works, it comes from our parents. It comes from what we saw growing up or what we experienced as a child, So I grew up in the middle, just barely above the middle class. I was but it didn't feel like it when I was growing up. But now looking back at our financial situation, I was in the middle class, and that's, a blessing. But right now, in America, with the growing, income and quality gap, it seems like the middle class is like, slowly fading away. I posted something on my Instagram not too long ago that said, a large percentage of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. And it was odd that I found it odd that 25% of those people who are living paycheck to paycheck are making 6 figures or $100,000 or more. And that was just, crazy to me. And then another, thing in regards to that, or another book that I read rather, was The Millionaire Next Door, which was a really good book. And it was just talking about, how a lot of people came up with poor money habits. And a lot of what we see is based up, based on what we see, our environment. So if you grew up in a low socioeconomic community, your feelings about money may be different from, a family that comes from, or someone that is wealthy, or someone that comes from a wealthy family. So your background has a big impact on how you manage your money today. Growing up, like I said, I was in the middle class. My parents split when I was younger, and my mom, she never made a ton of money, but what I realized is she was, a really, really good saver. And until she co-signed for my loan, she probably had decent credit. No, I'm joking, but really, she's had really good credit, and she's always made it a habit to save. And she, told me that personally that she got that from her mom or my grandmother. She could, squeeze a penny out of a nickel. They just learn to make their money stretch, to make it work with what they have. Now, that's great because, in order to build wealth, you do need to become a smart saver. You have to be disciplined with your money. But just a quick side note on that is I think a lot of people, and this is just my opinion from what I've seen, personally with my family, with those who have been close to me, is that a lot of people, they learn to make do with what they got, with the income that they have coming in, instead of saying, what, I want to, have 5 houses across the country, vacation home. I want to travel and do this and that. Instead of, increasing their income to the life that they want to live, they end up, adjusting their lifestyle to the income that they're getting. So that's one side reason why I believe that we need to teach our children about money, because we need to kind of change their whole mindset about money. Money isn't bad or good. So it's all about how we perceive money. So this is why I believe that it is imperative that we begin discussing money with our children at a very early age. We need to start communicating with them about it. So if you're in the store with your child and they say, can I get this video game or this toy, and you say yes or no, you need to give them a reason behind it. Or if you say no, tell them how they can earn it. I was watching my nephews probably a couple of months ago, and we had went to the arcade or some bounce house out in South Lake, and before that we went to the store, get some snacks. And if you have kids out there, you go to a store and they have toys in there, you already could have imagined what that's like. Can we get this? Oh, wow, look at that. Can we get this? Can we get this, please, please, please? And I'm an entrepreneur, and I don't have right now. I don't have a ton of extra money to spend on on toys. So I'm pumping money into my business, trying to make this thing get off the ground. So that was my reasoning behind it. But I also took that as an opportunity to kind of try to mentor them or to to teach them something. And I said, hey, you can get this toy or that game or whatever you want if you go out and earn the money for it. You can get whatever you want if you go earn the money for it. Well, Uncle, how do I do that? Well, there's a couple of ways. Number one, you got to sell something. You need to either sell a product or you need to go and provide a service to someone. Well, what can we do? Well, there's a lot. We're in an apartment complex. There's a lot of cars out there. They look dirty. Go clean someone's car. They'll give you some money for it. You clean 5 or 6 cars. Now you'd have made 40, 50, 60 bucks, depending on how much you charge, plus tips. And now you can go and get that video game that you wanted. So instead of just telling, children, no, we don't have enough money for it, let's start coming up with some creative ideas on how we can get the money for it. Because if you start thinking about different ideas and ways that you can create the money, something will come to your head. An idea will arise. But you got to act on it. So let's go ahead and get into why I believe the reasons why I believe that we should be teaching our children about money. Number one is because if you don't, who will? This can be applied to many things in what we teach our children about life. School is a great place to receive a formal education. And I have a huge respect for our teachers. However, it is not their job to raise your children and teach them about money and the other important aspects of life. It's not their job. And I think often they end up doing, more than what they're actually paid for. Now, I've said this multiple times. I posted it on my Instagram, my Facebook, and I learned it, a couple of years ago now, or I read it in an article rather that was published on MarketWatch.com, and it had a study that showed that only 5 states require a course about personal finance or money to be taught in high school. Now, I reposted this probably just a few weeks ago, and then I had a number of teachers, jump in the comment section and say, no, we teach that, we do go over that, we do have, some financial games that we do with the children and, programs. So that's great. I think that is good that we're starting to, schools are starting to be, a little bit more conscious that we need to start teaching, kids about financial habits, because there's so many people out there in debt and student loans. We need to start, being a little bit more conscious about this. However, that's great. But however, it's not tested on the STAR. That's the basic test that most public schools have their students take. Or at least I don't believe it's tested on the STAR. If we have some teachers out there and y'all have financial education or something in regards to money on the STAR test, please let me know. Text me, comment because that would be amazing. I will definitely post that on my Facebook or my social media pages. But if it's not tested on the STAR, a lot of teachers won't teach it, or they only cover it if they have time. They're focused on getting their children to pass this test. So I've heard many teachers, tell me this, that, they're teaching the test, or they're teaching to the test. The information is going to be on there. If it's not on there, they can get to it. They will. Great. But if not, we're focused on getting these kids to pass this test. So, and this was a study that showed just only 5 states required it. Now, it was mandatory. Now, I'm not saying all states don't offer something, but only a few states actually made it mandatory to teach personal finance or money in high school. So I'm not sure why we wouldn't be teaching this stuff. And I went to a private school, Arlington Oak Ridge. Shout out to everybody at Oak Ridge that I graduated with or that I went to school with. What's up? Hope y'all doing well. I see a lot of y'all doing positive things. Keep it up. I see you. I'm watching. But I don't remember, and that doesn't hold too much water for what my high school experience was. But I don't remember having a class where we really learned about credit, difference between a credit card and a debit card, how credit works, interest rates, student loans, things you need to know when you buy a home coming out of college. My guest today is Delano Mulkey, and we're going to talk about that. He's going to provide some insight on things, that you should be getting in order prior to buying a home. And for the people who have already purchased their first home, then, hey, please chime in, comment, call in. Call us at 214-556-6239. Check us out after 12. That's when he'll be coming in. But, my point is I wish that, I learned some of these things while I was in high school or while I was in college. So, it's the parents' responsibility to make sure that our youth is being educated about money and how it works. And if you're a parent and you don't know too much about, personal finance or budgeting or saving, make it your responsibility, your duty to learn that. You and your child, that could be something that you guys learn together. All right. So if you're the parent and you aren't able to teach the basics, you can begin to learn about it, because there are many free resources online and in the library and articles, and there's so much content out there that are about personal finance and money. Also, if you're following me live on Facebook, I actually have a free 99 financial education guide. It's on the link on my Facebook. So if you're streaming or if you're watching us live on there, you can check it out. But it's a free download. I talk about the difference between saving and investing, the difference between, income and expenses. We talk about credit. We define, what it means to be financially independent. We define financial literacy as well. So my point is that if you want the information, it's out there. So the next reason why we need to teach our children about money, which is extremely important, because I've experienced this, I know a lot of my friends have experienced this, is because youthful financial decisions, or decisions that you make in your youth, in your late teens, early 20s, can have a long-term impact. It can. I would be willing to wager $1. Ain't got too much money to be gambling. But I would be willing to make a small wager that if you were to ask 10 random 30-year-old individuals if they had made any major or major financial mistakes, over half of them would say yes. I know I have. Racking up credit card debt while, I was in college and not really having sufficient means to pay the credit card bill, or taking student loans out and not being, fully aware of the consequences or what was going to happen after the fact. I was just focused on getting through school and having fun. So a lot of people have had cars repossessed, maybe foreclosed on a home, or, had their card charged out, or a lot of things. My point is that a lot of bad decisions that you can make financially in your youth can have a long-term impact. Some things take 7 years just to fall off your credit. So, like I said, those mistakes can include racking up credit card debt, having delinquent loans, excess financial loss, or reckless spending, high student loan debt, not utilizing a budget, you know. So, and this also is not limited to just 30-year-olds or lower income individuals either. There have been many people who have had millions of dollars and lost it all because they never learned how to properly manage money or have their money work for them. So not teaching our kids about money at an early age can be extremely detrimental. I just want to point out one small example. Well, it's really a big example, and that's when you look at professional athletes. Last night they had the NBA draft lottery. I think the draft will be next month or the month after. They just had the NFL draft in May. And this is basically a time of the year where millionaires are being established overnight. I mean, I wouldn't say overnight because they put in the work through college, through their youth. But in a day, they're going from, probably little to no income to making millions of dollars. And the statistics and the numbers don't lie. If you see some of these athletes out here, once they finish playing ball, a large percentage of them go broke. They don't have it anymore. And that's because they didn't learn about money at a young age. They were unaware. Or that's part of the reason. All right? So, again, not teaching our kids about money at an early age can be detrimental. You start instilling it, teaching them at a young age when they're like a sponge and soaking up everything, they'll be, receptive to the information. So the third reason that I think we need to teach our children about money is because it can be fun. You can enjoy it. It can be, something that you guys, have fun with. There's often this perceived notion that money is evil, scary, and complex. And for that reason, many families avoid discussing money, or they don't discuss it often enough. In our day and age with social media and technology, there are many new games and online resources that can make learning about money fun. One great example is a company called Wealthy Life. Shout out to Angel Rich, Courtney King, Dominique Broadway, in particular Angel. This lady is doing very great things. She's got a lot going on. And this company is really a game that teaches financial literacy to children through online gaming, adaptive testing, as well as other means. And she's been, experiencing a lot of success with this game. So it can be fun. It can, become something that you and your children bond over. So as parents, I'm sure you have been creative, in order to do some other fun things with your children. So teaching them about money shouldn't be any different. Give your child a small amount and let them purchase one stock in a company, which can be done for less than $20. It'll allow them to see how it works, to feel how it works. So and emphasize that, how or teach them how they can make their money work for them. Unfortunately, in our society, most people, we go to work for our money. We spend 40, 50, 60, some people spend 80 hours a week putting in all this work and this time just to make money. When in all reality, you should be having your money work for you. So the first three reasons we need to teach our children about money. One, if you don't, who will? It is your responsibility to raise your children and teach them about the important aspects of life, especially money. Two, if youthful financial decisions can have a long-term impact. Like I said, I've experienced that. So it's important that, you teach your children to help them try to avoid some of those pitfalls. Second or third, excuse me, is because it can be fun. Turn it into a game. Be creative. Learning can be fun. So those are the first three. I'm gonna take a quick break, and on the backside of the break, I'm going to finish the last three reasons why I believe you should teach your children about money. And then also we have our guest in studio, Delano Mulkey. We're going to be talking to him, get his story, chop it up, and yeah. So I'll be right back. And here's my man, Bryson Tiller, Exchange. Delano, my brother. What's up with it? How you doing?
It's good, man.
Thank you for joining me, man.
Absolutely, man. Hey, I'm proud of you, dude.
Man, I appreciate it. Let's see how this thing works real quick.
Yeah. So this office specializes in podcasts and everything?
You said what now?
This office specializes in doing podcasts and everything?
Well, they converted to a podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. So all the podcasts are on my or they have a site where they put them all on there.
Nice.
Then you can if you wanted to take that MP3 podcast and put it on your website or send it out an email, you can do that as well.
Nice.
Things I want to just call in, but I don't even think that's my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. So they do that, and then this radio show is personality driven. So it's like three. I don't know if you heard of it before, but it's
No.
They got 4 studios, and most people are just running their own little show. Some people
So you do
music.
an hour. You pay an hour or something, or 2 hours, or.
Well, yeah, you can do an hour or 2 hours. It's the same price. So I don't see why you do 2. But some people, do an hour.
Yeah.
I've done I do the 2 hours.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up, man.
Man.
It's, I heard this thing is feeding your purpose. You gotta, one thing that people definitely don't do is, 1, understand their purpose.
That's true.
And 2, feed it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you can have any job in the world.
Right.
But if you're not feeding your purpose,
Mm-hmm.
basically you're out there just,
Yeah.
You're out there just doing without any
Direction. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What are all these? Get you set up here. I'm gonna just finish those last 3 points and then we can jump right in, bro. How's it going, man? Making some deals today, man?
Oh, man, yeah. God is good, man.
All the time.
God is good. So he is definitely making a way and creating things that I'll be able to create, man. So
yeah.
Just
That's what's up, man.
building on the brand, all that stuff.
So you were Village Mortgage Group, right?
Well, it's called Townsquare Mortgage.
Townsquare Mortgage.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, but the concept is, it takes a village to
Right.
get it done. So,
yeah. So who did you start that?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we gotta talk about that, bro. Heck yeah, we gotta talk about that.
Yeah. So it takes a village, and part of that village is the realtors, the title company, the clients, pretty much everybody involved in getting this done. But at the end of the day, the main focal point is we're getting it done together,
Right.
and basically creating lasting memories for the clients. And at the end of the day, guess what? Once we close, that doesn't mean it's the end of our relationship.
Right. See, I think that's where a lot of salesmen go wrong.
Yeah.
They make the sale and then
Yeah.
that's it. Then they don't end up getting that repeat business. That's where you make your money.
Yeah.
The repeat business. How the family doing, man?
Man, family's great. Life is good. Just take it one day at a time, man. So.
Right on. So is your wife, she helping you out with it?
She was.
Okay.
Maybe eventually, maybe again. But right now, just kind of setting up, my way, and just she'll come in as needed basis or help basis. So.
Right. I got you. So yeah, you'll be right here, and this on the other side.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, man, we just gonna chop it up kind of
Cool,
like
cool.
right now.
Yeah.
So I definitely you have to tell me more about the village.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
What you're working on. Got to ask you some questions about getting clients and sales.
Oh yeah.
The entrepreneur, draft. Yeah. Need some water or something before you start?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I get it for you, bro. Yeah, what's up, everybody? Got my guest live in studio with me, Delano Mulkey. We're going to chop it up here in a minute. Comment if you got some questions. Call in 214-556-6239. There you go, sir. Try to keep it away. That's Solange, Cranes in the Sky. I haven't heard her album. It's real dope. If you like that type of music. Yeah, man. So I'm gonna work on like sponsorship and like some ads like on the show, like on Facebook, kind of help pay for itself,
Yeah, absolutely.
You said what?
See, like, answer shouldn't have to be posted.
I mean, I think you probably can, or yeah, I really want to do what you're on there.
Show up on my timeline. Just,
Oh, right.
so my phone is live now. Tune in.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Got my special guest in the studio, Delano. We're going to be chopping it up.
Hey, y'all.
What's up, man? We're going to be talking about entrepreneurship, business. Give us a shout. All right, let's finish up this real quick. Hey, this is the Ray. This is the Austin Collab Money Talk. We are back. We're live, streaming live on Facebook. Also, we're live on the Fishbowl Radio Network, so check us out. I do have my special guest live in the studio with us, Delano Mulkey. Before we start talking to him, I want to go ahead and just finish up on the last reasons why I think you should be teaching your children about money. Are you teaching your girls about money, man? You telling them what's going on?
Absolutely. Every day it's a priority, and the Bible says train your child up the way they should go. So
Yeah.
You always want to make that a priority because at the end of the day, we didn't always get taught the right way of doing things. So it's important for us to make sure we teach our children, and not only our children, but those around you. You just really never know who's watching you.
Right.
And that's one of the biggest things that I want to talk about today is always be mindful of not only those around you, but those who you may not even know might be watching you. So
that's true. Someone's always watching. So yeah, well, let me go ahead and wrap up because I'm excited. I'm glad my brother took time out of his busy day to join me. So I definitely want to jump into our conversation. But the last 3 reasons why you should be teaching your children about money. This is an important one because as far as investing, the earlier the better. Albert Einstein said one of the wonders of the world should be compounding interest. One great reason to teach your kids about money at an early age because time is such a big factor. The earlier you can, teach your children or they can start investing, the better. If someone were to start investing in their early teens or 20s, it would greatly increase the chance of that investment increasing over time. And also, it would take away some of the risk as well. Like I said, Einstein, in reference to compounding interest, he said it should be the 8th wonder of the world. Check out my website. I got a great video on this particular blog about compounding interest. 5th reason is they will be dependent. A prevalent book is The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley and William D. Danko. One of the things that they discuss in the book is that there are a large number of adult children who are still dependent on their parents. I was shocked to see that there are many households, many who we would consider middle class or well off, at least by their parents, is that they're still receiving financial assistance from their parents. While I was in the financial services industry, I spoke with a number of clients who would call in and take money out of their retirement accounts just to help their adult children. Whether that's helping them to pay their mortgage, or their tuition, or private school for grandkids, or even pay down their kids' debt that they had accumulated. This is twofold because, you want to teach your kids to be self-sufficient, and you don't want, to have to dip into your retirement or savings account, to help, your child. You shouldn't have to make the decision of whether I'm going to, retire and live comfortable or help my kid. What's the saying? If you give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day, but if you teach a man to fish,
eat for a lifetime. Absolutely.
Yeah, eat for a lifetime. Exactly. So we want our children to be self-dependent. Last reason, they will be appreciative. There are several lessons that I've learned from my parents that I'm very thankful for to this day. Many of us were disciplined as a child. And at the time, we probably didn't like our parents for it. But it wasn't until later that we, became appreciative of that discipline. Because I didn't get arrested. I didn't get locked up. I'm not dead. I'm still here. I'm alive and well. So, they will be appreciative, of you teaching them about that concept. So if you can help your child to be self-sufficient, and eventually create wealth, surely, they will be thankful for that. And then when you get old, they might just take care of you instead of just throwing you away in some home. So we just said it. Wise Proverbs says, give a man a fish and you will feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you will feed him for a lifetime. So those are the reasons I believe that you should teach your children about money. I'm just going to go recap them briefly. The first reason is because if you don't, who will? A lot of schools are getting better about teaching about money or having different programs, but it's not their responsibility to teach our children how to manage their money. Second, youthful financial decisions can have long-term effects. So, like I said, I've made financial mistakes that I'm still paying for, and if you can help your children avoid those, that would be a huge help. Third, it can be fun. Make it a game. There are a lot of games out there. Monopoly is one of the oldest money games that's out there.
Absolutely.
It teaches great concepts about acquiring land and real estate.
Yeah.
All right.
Didn't even know it growing up.
Exactly. Didn't even know it growing up. You didn't even know they were teaching you about real estate then. Second, for investing, the earlier the better. Remember the important rule of compound interest. Fifth, they will be dependent. You don't want your 40-year-old some child calling you asking you to loan them some money because they can't pay their credit card bill or they're late on their mortgage payment. And lastly, they would and hopefully they will be appreciative. All right. So those are the 6 reasons why I think you should teach your kids about money. My guest is in studio with me. He's teaching his daughters about money. He's also, got a lot of other things going on that's in the community. So I'm going to play a quick song, then we're going to jump in it, and we're going to be talking live with Delano Mulkey. We're streaming live on Facebook. This is DeRay. This is the Austin Collab Money Talk. We're also on the Fishbowl Radio Network. We'll be right back.
Cool. How's everything with you, man? How's it?
Man, it's going pretty good, man. Yeah, it's not bad at all. Yeah, man, it's a grind, man.
It's a grind.
Yeah, it's a grind. Just trying to, build that momentum, build my credibility, just get content out there, get some products to sell. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've really been working on the last few months, really, man. Just getting products together. I'm putting together a financial wellness course. I'm trying to get that tightened up. I also got a financial education guide. The link is up here. And my status is free. You can download it, learn about the difference between income and expenses, saving versus investing, understanding credit.
Nice.
We talk about, what it means to be financially independent, to have all your assets and your income, take care of all, your living needs.
Yeah.
So that's the point. I think we need to be trying to get to that point.
You gotta have a vision, man.
You do need a vision. Y'all hear that? You have to have a vision. What's the verse said? Without vision, if you're not lacking vision, man.
At the end of the day, you need a vision.
Yeah, you gotta have something.
Behind that vision has to be a plan.
Man, a plan. You on Snapchat?
No.
You ain't got on there yet?
Haven't got on there yet.
They keep coming out with something new.
That's the whole thing. Keep coming with something new.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? We live in studio. Got my guest, Delano Mulkey. We live on Facebook. Check us out right here. We live, baby.
No, but yeah, how's Brandy doing? She good?
Oh, yeah, she good. Yeah, she good. She chilling. We bought some new alarm system for our house. You go open the garage from the from the phone and turn air on and do all that kind of stuff.
That's high tech.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she good. Cool. Yeah, man. All right, man, you ready to do this, baby?
Let's go.
I'm afraid this will lid out. All right, this one. She just said, "Hey, Brandy."
Hey, Brandy.
Hey, welcome back. This is the Austin Collab Money Talk. My name is DeRay. We are live on the Fishbowl Radio Network. We're also streaming live on Facebook. And today, I have a very special guest in the studio. All my guests that come in here are special. And we have my brother, Delano Mulkey. How you doing, sir?
Good, man. Good, man. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to come here and be a part of this. I mean, I told you earlier, but, man, I'm proud of you and thank God for the blessings coming to you. So,
absolutely.
It's a great thing. I'm like I said, I'm good to see you doing well.
Yes, man. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to come in and and talk to me. We don't talk often, but when we do, it seems like there's positivity there.
Absolutely.
We're always talking about what we're working on, our goals, and pushing forward. And I think, Delano, it's been almost 7 or 8 years since I met you. I think it was in 2010.
Somewhere in there, we met at church.
At church. We met at church at Westside Baptist out in Louisville. And we just kind of connected, linked up. And, you know, I'm glad we've been able to stay in contact.
Absolutely. And that's you know, something that you really don't catch a lot.
That's true.
You know, more or less, like, you know, iron sharpens iron.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's always good to have those people in your corner that you can rub off of and you know, just collaborate with, you know.
Right.
God brings people in your lives for a reason. So
that's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. And before I even started the show, I said that you know, it's extremely important to have a positive circle of influence and who you hang around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're hanging around 4 or 5 millionaires, you're likely to become the next one.
Yep.
If you're hanging around, you know, 4 people who aren't doing so good things, then you'll probably fall into that category as well. So you got a lot of big things going on. So let's start off. Just tell everyone exactly what you do. I put on there that you're involved in you know, the mortgage industry and real estate, but tell us about your company, your business, and exactly what you do.
Yeah. So basically, I am a licensed loan officer, and basically I help family, you know, achieve the American dream. That's basically owning your own home. So, you know, more or less, you know, a lot of times that, you know, families don't qualify. But, you know, one thing that I definitely try to make sure I do is I try to make sure that I give a client or a family a plan of action.
Right.
And that's a lot of times that doesn't happen, especially with a lot of people in the financial industry. You know, if it doesn't work, you know, basically they'll, you know, kind of toss the family to a side. But, you know, basically I help families get into a home.
Right. Okay, that's great. So when I first met you, you were in the financial service. You were a banker, right?
I was a banker. Yeah, I was in the banking industry. So I did that for a few years and eventually converted over to a loan officer while in the banking industry. And, you know, again, you know, just one thing, my goal initially going into Chase and just going back to talking about, you know, having a plan, my goal was to go into Chase, learn a skill set.
Right, that's important.
Yeah, take what they've taught me.
Exactly.
And leave. And that was my promise to God. You know, my commitment to God, saying, hey, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to be committed to serving you and your people. And, you know, basically he got me into Chase. You know, I spent 4.5 years there.
Right, get that knowledge.
Got that knowledge. And, you know, even I lost my way a little bit, you know.
That happens. It's real easy to happen. We're human.
Yeah, I lost my way. So basically, and, you know, God reminded me saying, hey, you know what? The intent wasn't to for you to come in here and do anything else but learn this skill set.
Right.
So I learned the loan officer position, got my license, took off, and ever since then it's been, you know, God orchestrated because it's been great. So.
Right. So now, how long have you been doing? How long have you been in your role right now?
So I'm a licensed loan officer. So for those that don't know what that means is,
break it down.
I'm commission only, so I eat what I kill. So nobody's paying me a salary. You know, nobody's writing me a paycheck every month. You know, without me putting in the work. So,
a lot of people, they expect to get the money and not put in the work. They expect to get some heat from the stove without putting in the wood. It don't work that way, right?
Oh, no. I use this analogy all the time. Everybody wants to go to the top of the ladder, but guess what? There's other steps ahead of that first, behind that first step or in front of that first step. So, more or less, not everybody's fortunate to get to the top of the ladder. I'm not at the top of the ladder, but guess what? I'm headed that way.
I'm climbing,
one step at a time. So
one step at a time.
I got my license. I became a loan officer. This past year, I became a branch manager with this company, Townsquare Mortgage. It's a great company based out of Dallas.
Okay.
Right off of Dallas Parkway. Just a great company. So more or less, it's baby steps, and
Absolutely.
You got to grind.
Yeah, you definitely got to grind. Now, I just checked out. I actually reposted it on my Facebook. One of your, are you calling it Mindset Monday?
Mindset Mondays. Yes.
Mindset Monday. And my very first show, the radio show that I did up here, my very first blog was titled "Taking the Leap of Faith," and you talked about this past Monday going out. So can you just walk us through that experience? What led you there? What were your thoughts? Are you scared?
Oh yeah. Well, when you think about it, our minds are created to protect us.
Right.
So, more or less, it keeps us from putting ourselves in danger.
Right.
And that's how we're built. Mm-hmm. But, again, fear is not of God. So, that's my mindset. You know what? He put us on this earth to have a life of abundance. My mind is keeping me from doing that. So, you know what? Am I going to listen to the peanut gallery? I'm going to listen to myself and tell myself, no, I can't do this? Or am I going to listen to what God's told me and say, hey, you're going to have this life and have it abundant. So it's up to you to go out and get it. Right. So you're going to have to either, basically put everybody and behind you and move forward and listen to what I'm telling you. Mm-hmm. Now, the trial is not going to be easy, but I said that you're going to have this. This is my promise.
Right.
So that's my mindset is, hey, you know what? When I took that license, when I got that license, again, it was one of those things where I had to remind myself, God didn't take me all this way for me to fail.
That's true. Right. Absolutely.
So that's pretty much, the steps it took. Mm-hmm. And trust me, between myself and my wife, there's enough, fear factor in there,
I know it is.
To say, hey, you know what, this may not work or whatever, but at the end of the day, again, I basically went off of God's promise to me.
Right. Now, for those of you out there who are listening or tuning in on Facebook, if you've ever worked a commission-only job or a sales job, it is hard. That was my first job. Yeah. What brought me to Westside when I met you is I was laid off from Edward Jones. Cassandra, what's up? We interned together at Edward Jones. And when you became a financial advisor, it was basically commission only. You eat what you kill. You had to go knock on doors. You had to go out there. You had to
get out your comfort zone.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah.
You have to get outside your comfort zone. And that is so important, I think, in going to achieve success. You got to get outside your comfort zone. And another thing that I think is important, and one of the things that you said on your video, was you got to take action.
Take action.
Can you just talk a little bit more about the importance of taking action, and what do you do? What moves you to take action? Because, having a good idea is one thing, but taking that first step forward is a whole nother. Okay, so what?
Everybody dreams. Everybody have a vision. But at the end of the day, guess what? Those visions and dreams without a plan or action is nothing. So whether you are trying to be an entrepreneur, whether you're trying to move up in the corporate ladder, whether you're trying to be a better husband or wife or whatever, at the end of the day, guess what? Nothing matters if you don't take action. So what that means is putting together a plan in order and basically taking one step at a time to get to that point where, you know what, I'm accomplishing something. You're accomplishing something every day. You want to set daily goals, daily tasks every day to the point where you're progressing. So it's always about progressing. A lot of times, again, we do what's easy.
Right.
And that's, again, our minds are basically working against us, saying, okay, we're going to do something, but let's take the easy route.
Right.
But we need to put actions in place, even in actions that get us uncomfortable. Find a mentor, read X amount of pages a day, get additional knowledge, take a class, whatever. But whatever you need to do in order to get yourself into a better position to be that much better than you was last year, or the month before, or the week before.
Right. Absolutely. That's true. Now, you just said one thing, which is extremely important. You said you need to have goals. You said daily goals. I set out goals for my week. I set out my 3-month goals, 6 months. I do them quarterly, 9 months, 12 months in a year. And I always said, if you don't have your goals written down, I personally can't take, you always serious. As far as you're trying to accomplish a task or become successful or whatever your objective is. If you don't have it written down, you just tell me, I don't think, you're extremely serious about it. So can you just talk to us about your goal process you do daily, or how do you set goals?
And what I mean by that is it's a to-do list. So
right.
At the end of the day, you want to, you do have a structured daily or monthly, quarterly, a yearly goal set up. But more or less, you have that set up, but you want to make sure that you actually set a actual to-do list for yourself, because you can walk in every day and say, I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, but if you don't actually list it out and actually mark it off as you achieve one particular item, then at the end of the day, you haven't really accomplished the goals that you set out every day. This week I want to read, 30 pages. Well, that 30 pages would have helped you get to or helped you get the answer that you're looking for in order to help you get to that next level in your career or in your marital life or whatever. So, it has to start somewhere. So that to-do list, that daily to-do list helps you stay committed to those other yearly and quarterly or monthly goals.
Right. And I have my to-do list, and let me tell you, when I accomplish something and go and mark it off, it feels good.
It's a great feeling.
It's a good feeling, like, man, I got that done. Absolutely. And last week I had a great week. I looked at my to-do list, and I think I marked off everything that I wanted to accomplish, and only one thing that I didn't accomplish, but that was sort of outside of my control. I'm not making excuses, but everything that was literally in my control, I accomplished. So that really does.
Absolutely.
And then, sometimes if you don't write it down, you'll forget. You're like, snap, I was supposed to, go get my oil change or whatever it may be, whatever your to-do list was.
It's that sense of accomplishment. And there's no greater feeling than feel like you've accomplished what you set out to do.
It is.
Well, a friend of mine told me years ago, and I've known this guy since middle school, and, he told me, David Baker, I don't know if he caught it, but David Baker, he told me, he said, Delano, when you go out and you say you're going to do something, you do it. This was years ago, he told me. And when he told me that resonated in my mind. It resonated in my mind a lot because he's right. And that helps me continue to do the things that I said I'm going to do, because guess what? When I don't think people are watching, they are watching.
Absolutely. Now, I consider you an entrepreneur. You're definitely an entrepreneur, right?
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, you, like you said,
100%.
You eat what you kill. So, can you just talk to me about some of the challenges that you faced early on, and what did you do to, kind of get past those obstacles? Or still, obstacles come up all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. So, just even as an entrepreneur, coming out, again, I knew the mortgage industry coming out from Chase, but at the end of the day, I didn't really understand how to go out and get business. That's one thing. I didn't.
I'm working on getting business too.
Yeah. So the other part is, you have your Chase process, a way of doing things, or any bank process, a way of doing things. Then you have the actual real estate mortgage industry way of doing things, and you have to learn that. So having the mentors and the people in place to really help you get to that point is pretty scarce. So you can either get discouraged, or you can keep pushing and keep knocking on doors until you find that particular individual or particular person or a particular bit of information or whatever to help you thrive and be that professional that you want to be. So, initially coming out of the gate, business, that was one of them, and, again, processes, that's another one of them. More or less time management, that's another one. All those things as an entrepreneur, you have to wrap your hands around and get a grip of it, because guess what? Everybody can stay busy as an entrepreneur, but guess what? Busy doesn't convert to dollars.
I concur. I completely agree, because when I first started off, I was doing a lot of busy work and wasn't doing the income producing activities. So I had to kind of shift gears and say, okay, you know what? This needs to get done, and I should get it done, but it's not at the top of my to-do list.
Absolutely.
I need to get this done. I need to get a product to sell. I need to work on my content. I need to get a service I can provide, and then I can build on other things. Because I got to eat, like you said.
And there's long-term goals, and then there's those money-making goals. And you got to clearly define those things. So I had to realize that, you know what, I can work on the longer relationships, but at the same time, I need to make money now. I have a family. So, basically, one of the things I did is, first I was going out and just reaching out to anybody. Then at that point, I realized the greatest source is the people you know. But everybody has a fear factor of going to the people they know and asking them for, the business or service.
Right. I know about that fact.
Yeah, so, that's one of the best things you can do is go out to the people that you know and ask them for the business. And if they're not willing to help you, okay, that's fine.
Right.
But guess what? You tried.
Right. So everybody I know out there, I'm about to be calling y'all and ask y'all to buy my ebook.
There you go.
Check out my website, theaustincollab.com, and we're going to keep talking, but where can they find you at? Instagram, Facebook?
I'm on Facebook. We have a Facebook page, the Village, but it's a company or a group of Townsquare Mortgage. But basically, we're on Facebook mainly, so you can definitely find me or message me, or you can add me as a friend, or check out the Village Mortgage Group on Facebook. And
we got a website?
No website. That's coming. So, but you can definitely find me, Delano Mulkey. You can Google me. You can find me definitely anywhere. So.
I know a great person who will do your website for you. What's up, Adrian?
Let's talk.
Right. So, like I said, you talked just earlier about you need to make money. So, I noticed that you've been helping a lot of families. You actually helped Brandy, my girlfriend, when she went through her home buying process. So, are you doing this for the money, or is it to help people? What's kind of your motivation behind that?
So just my goal, initially just starting out, just coming from the bigger bank, was to serve a purpose, and basically I'm feeding that purpose, and that's one of the things that the best thing you can do for yourself is identify your purpose and feed it, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to give you joy at the end of the day. So, when it comes to these families, it brings me no greater joy than to see their happy faces at closing. It's not about, the money's the byproduct of it. Right. The biggest part about it is, again, my commitment was to serve God in this process and, basically represent Him to the fullest and be the best professional I can be because I am a representative of Him. So, in this situation, again, my initial commitment was, hey, Lord, give me a craft, let me take it, let me go use it, and like I said, at that point, it skyrocketed. So every day,
that's a blessing.
It's a purpose. That's where the concept of village comes from, because it takes a village to do this process, to get it done. There's so many moving hands and parts in this particular process, and it's my job to manage all of that. So, thinking about you got so many files a month that are closing, well, that's so many managerial jobs that I have at one time. So, again, you want a client to feel safe and secure knowing that, hey, I'm taken care of, and that's one of the biggest things that you can do as a financial professional, for a client.
Right, that's true. And so if anyone out there is looking to buy a home or thinking about buying a home, have any questions, definitely reach out to this young man. I was there when you kind of walked through Brandy through the process.
Absolutely.
Held her hand, and I think she was very appreciative of your services. And real quick, because I definitely want to talk.
Shout out to teachers, love teachers. You don't get enough appreciation or love out there, but teachers, definitely deserve a lot of appreciation. And we'd like to say thank you. So
yes, thank you. Appreciate everything that you guys have done. So you have a family.
Yes.
How old are your girls now?
12 and 3.
12 and 3. Oh, okay. Growing up fast, huh?
Growing up quick.
12-year-old. You about to be a teenager.
I know it.
Wow, that was goodness gracious. So I know you're an entrepreneur. You're a married man. And I asked my other friend this, how do you find that work-life balance between getting out there and grinding, making sure that they're taken care of, and also spending time with the wife and family?
And it's amazing you bring that up, but my wife and I, just not putting my business in the street, but we got divorced initially, and then we got remarried. So, and part of, divorce was the fact that, I worked a lot. So I was in corporate America, I worked a lot, 50, 60 hours, whatever, and basically caused a lot of problems. Yeah. So, and being an entrepreneur, you would think that I work more. But actually, I don't.
Really?
I don't.
Really?
I work probably anywhere from 40 to 50 hours a week. 40 to 50 hours a week as an entrepreneur. Mm-hmm. And I do that purposely for a reason. And that's because you have to have that work-life balance or mm-hmm. personal life balance. Mm-hmm. And it's not a matter of how you go about doing it. It's a matter of how you manage it.
Right.
So you got to set boundaries and establish those boundaries for yourself, mm-hmm. but also for your significant other mm-hmm. as well. Because at that point, expectations are set.
Right.
So, more or less, as long as you set those right expectations with mm-hmm. your clients, with your, with the people you work with, mm-hmm. with your significant other, your family, mm-hmm. at that point, there shouldn't be any discrepancy as to what family time versus personal business time looks like.
Right. Right on. So, I know you said you work 40 to 50 hours a week, but you probably not included in that time that you're actually working on yourself.
Absolutely.
Your mind.
Yeah.
Your reading.
Yep.
Your body. I know you're in the gym.
Yes.
Can you talk about the importance of that part of entrepreneurship as far as working on your body, physical fitness, and reading?
Oh, yeah.
How does that help you in being an entrepreneur and being a family man? Because I see you getting it. I'm leaving. I'm getting the gym as soon as I leave here. So you motivate me. I need to start getting up earlier, getting it in. But you motivate me, so I see you. So just talk about the importance of, physical fitness and reading.
As we all know, in most of us work, basically, work takes up a lot of our day. Mm-hmm. And we want to make sure that, we can find time for family. And then, but again, it's so important that you find time for yourself because at the end of the day, stress levels goes up, eating habits get bad, mm-hmm. All those things contribute to all kinds of medical problems or physical problems or whatever. So part of what I do is, my thing is I want to spend that time with my family. So you manage your time very wisely. So I get up, I'm up 5:30 in the morning. I go hit the gym. That's my time. Right. I hit my time, mm-hmm. Again, it's about mindset. So the first thing you want to do, I pray first thing in the morning. That's my spiritual side. Right. So I hit that 15 minutes or so in the morning. Mm-hmm. Then I hit the mindset. I'm listening to YouTubes, listening to inspirational videos. I'm listening to,
that's how I start my day too.
Good positive things. Right. Guess what? At the end of the day, you start your mind out right, you can combat anything.
That's true.
You can combat anything.
Anything. Your mind has full capabilities to solve all your problems that you're facing through God, our infinite intelligence. So getting that mind right is so important. That's how I start my day off too. I read, I meditate, I stretch. Yep. Then I start watching my motivational videos, have my coffee, get my mind right, get it, get in, the right mindset.
Mm-hmm. So when you think about it, everybody's day starts 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock. But when your day starts well before theirs, you've already beat them to the punch. So, and more or less you've dealt with any negative or any bad energy that possibly could already. You've already dealt with it. Mm-hmm. So, and then at that point, again, after I do all that, I go exercise for an hour, mm-hmm. hour and a half in the morning. So by 7:30, 8 o'clock, I'm dropping my daughter off, and I'm ready.
You're off to a good start. Hey, my man Grant Cardone said, if you could beat that sun up, you're off to a great start.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
that's good.
It's about mindset. So
that's right.
Because that's everything. If you train your mind, your body will follow it.
Hey, if you guys follow me on Snapchat, what did I put maybe last week? You train your mind, the body will follow.
Absolutely.
The body's at full service to the mind. Yeah. So what you put into your mind, guys, is extremely important. So if you're tuned in to negativity, politics and all this other hoopla, that's distracting your mind from working on your goals.
Yeah, like the old IT term, garbage in, garbage out. So
there you go.
It's the truth.
There you go. So I kind of want to shift gears a little bit now and talk about this whole home buying process, because eventually I want to become a homeowner. And when I was there at the closing with you, Darren, and Brandy out in Mesquite, I felt like she was signing her life away. It was the paper was this thick.
Oh yeah.
So for someone who hasn't bought a home yet, what's the first thing that you would tell them to do if they're working and they have income coming in?
Right. So one of the things that I can say that's truly a big fear factor for a lot of home buyers who are looking to buy or want to buy or whatever, basically, is their credit.
That's my fear factor.
Everybody is fearful of pulling their credit.
Right.
They have an idea. They're not sure.
Right.
Where things are, that kind of thing. But, more or less, pulling their credit is one of the things that gives them the most, happens the most fearful out of everything. You have to pull your credit. You want to identify where your credit is, and at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you do that, so that way you can develop a plan. Because without that credit, you can't develop the plan that you need.
Right. Okay, so I get my credit score. I know that. So do I jump on Zillow? How do I figure out how much I can actually afford once I know my credit score?
So basically, first thing you want to do, and a lot of times, we put the cart before the horse.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing you want to do, understand where you are financially. So part of that credit pooling, there's other services out there like Credit Karma. Some credit cards have services to where you can tap into their service and see where you are. You don't have to necessarily pull your credit, but you can identify where it is, like using one of those services. Mm-hmm. And at that point, go to a loan officer and let the loan officer help you determine where you are. Because I think you can actually get a free credit report through some of those as well. Mm-hmm. And you'll get 2 scores, at least a minimum of 2 scores from one of those services. Mm-hmm. But let the loan officer help you determine where you are. Mm-hmm. And, basically, a lot of times, first thing people want to do is run a credit repair. Well, credit repair is not always required. I would say 9 times out of 10, I can help you figure out what you need to do before you even go to a credit repair person.
Right.
So I would recommend always start with a loan officer first. Mm-hmm. And then go ahead and go to start working with a realtor to start helping you look for a house and all that stuff. Okay. So that way they can help you with that piece. But at the end of the day, if your finances are not right, again, people want to put the cart before the horse, mm-hmm. and you want to kind of position yourself to be, not let down.
Right.
When you're going out and look for a house, because guess what? Your eyes get big. Start getting giddy. Start wanting to put offers in on a house, all that stuff.
Right.
But guess what? You haven't financially set yourself up to be prepared for that.
Because that's a big responsibility owning a house.
Huge.
I'm seeing, because if something go wrong, you're responsible, right?
Absolutely.
You can't call nobody and say, hey,
don't
fix my toilet.
No. It's on you.
It's on you. Okay, so now I know, and you're probably, very familiar with what happened back in 2008 with the whole subprime lending. Mm-hmm. Are there new rules in place to prevent people from taking out a mortgage that they can't really afford?
Yeah, absolutely. There's ratios, debt to income ratios, verifications. There's checks and balance for everything. And you can give me some information, but at the end of the day, if the paperwork doesn't match, that's where basically we'll keep you from buying the house.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Right. Hey guys, I got a free financial education guide. The link is on my Facebook right there. You can visit my website, theaustincollab.com. But we talk about the debt to income ratio. Can you just tell us what that is?
Yeah. So basically, the debt to income ratio is how we look at it. We take your gross income and we'll look at your existing debt. And one of the first questions I ask my clients is, how much do you want to pay a month? Because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. How much they want to pay a month. Now, a lot of times what you want to pay a month versus what you're looking at online and want to buy won't match up. So that's just a disclosure right there. It's not going to match up. So basically we take how much they want to pay or what they can qualify for, mm-hmm. and then we'll combine their existing debt, all right? And then we'll divide it by their gross income. So
right.
There's different investors that will approve up to so much of your income. So with conventional loans, you can get approved up to 45% with Fannie Mae. In some cases, you can get approved up to 48, 49% with Freddie Mac. So, but basically, that's how you calculate it. Basically, you look at your existing debt, not what you pay every month, but what is actually reported on your credit bureau, whether it's the minimum payment or whatever. So they'll take that existing debt plus the amount that you want to pay and divide it by your gross income. And based on those ratios, either you'll be approved for, an FHA loan, conventional loan, or, some other loan that may be out there based on your criteria. So.
Okay, I got you. So I read that as far as how much you could afford based on your monthly income, you should be spending somewhere between 25% of your income toward rent or mortgage. Is that accurate, or anything like that?
And a lot of times, you'll get some people with no debt or whatever. So it really, again, goes back to comfort level.
Okay.
And one thing about it, I don't want a client going in feeling that they're going to be house poor. Basically they're going to be paying just their mortgage and won't have any opportunities to do anything else or go on vacations or whatever else. So part of my responsibility is to help them see, okay, yes, you can qualify for this, but where are you comfortable at? Because I'm always going to go back to that same thing. So based on percentage, more or less, that's one thing that we can kind of use as a rule of thumb. But at the end of the day, comfort level is the biggest factor of it all. You want to make sure you're comfortable making that payment every month.
Right. So someone, they get their credit, they see what they're comfortable with, and they start the process. What's one of the most common mistakes that you see when people start that home buying process?
I guess underestimating what to bring to closing.
What do we need to bring to closing? Because I was at Randy's closing, and I was like, like I said, I feel like she was signing her life with the paper was this thick. Yeah. So what do you need to bring?
So there's other factors that go with the closing. It's just not the down payment. So basically, you're looking at
talk about that.
The down payment. You have an FHA, which is 3.5%. You got conventional loans; they'll go as low as 3% or 5%. There's still a misconception out there that you have to put 20% down. That's not true. So, there's definitely other options out there. There's down payment programs out there. And of course, they have their criteria that you have to qualify for are those programs, but they are out there. But more or less, there's the things that go into the down payment or the closing costs are your down payment. You have your title company fees, you have your lender fees, and then you have your escrow fees, which are we call the prepaids. And the prepaids are your taxes, insurance, interest, that kind of thing. So,
all right, now the closing costs, does that vary? How does it?
It does vary. It varies by loan amount, of course.
Loan amount. Okay.
So, and of course, based on the loan amount, fees are going to change. Title company fees will change. Interest that you pay out will change. So there's different variables based on the loan amount and based on the type of loan as well.
All right. So I know you worked a lot with Darren. He's a realtor. How do you suggest people go about finding a realtor or a lender or finding these individuals? Just word of mouth or referral?
Yeah, it's always good to get a referral. And definitely if you know somebody that you trust, or even, hey, you listen to this podcast, hey, I'm your man, so come and tell at me. So,
check him out.
But, definitely, one thing about it, and I experienced this actually last week, and, if you decide you want to interview some people, just look for certain things. You want to look for someone who's going to be genuine. You want to look for somebody who's going to give you a lot of information. You also want to make sure that, they're not giving you jargon.
Right.
And for those who don't know what jargon is, basically it's people who are using terminology that us as a professional in the industry would only understand.
Right.
So, and basically those are kind of, smoking screens, and basically, you may hear a word and you're like, okay, what does that mean? But,
just talking all over your head.
Just talking all over your head. But, at the end of the day, it's very important for somebody to give you that comfort level, knowing that, hey, I feel like this person's going to take care of me. Referrals are good, but at the same time, just because somebody referred them to you doesn't mean they're the right person for you.
That's true. That's good. So I appreciate that, man. So before we wrap up, we're just going to do a couple more segments. But before we wrap up, what last and final advice would you give anyone out there who's thinking of buying a home? Anything?
Just do your research. Definitely, I'm not saying that you have to become a professional at it, but do your research, get a little bit of working knowledge, and then again, seek out a professional that that you'll want to interview or talk to first before actually fully engaging in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, you'll find that a lot of times there are missteps throughout the process, and you'll find that well, this wasn't explained to me, or this wasn't given to me, or how does this particular work, or what's the process? I mean, from A to Z, how does it work? What does it look like? So those are things that you want to definitely be able to do and find before going out and doing that. I mean, just do your own research, and then at that point, you can come to the table with some questions or even some misunderstandings that you may have regarding the process. So
yeah, absolutely. Bring your questions.
Absolutely.
Because if you meet with a lender or realtor and they're not hesitant or kind of beating around the bush to answer your questions, that's probably not a good sign.
No.
Right. So I appreciate you, brother. Like I said, we just want to do a couple more segments. This is something I started doing with my guests. It's kind of just kind of like, you probably saw on ESPN where they kind of ask some rapid questions.
Yeah.
You answer back fast.
Okay.
All right, so I just want to throw a few questions out there for you.
Okay.
That's not a good view. So where's the next place you're planning to travel?
Headed New Orleans this weekend.
Leave this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, what's going on down there?
Just hanging out.
Hanging out. There you go. Okay, all right. Basketball or football?
Football.
Football? Okay. Rap or R&B?
R&B.
Okay. Are you the cook at the house or your wife? Wife?
I don't cook. Don't cook.
I cook because I love to eat.
All right.
All right. So what's one thing that you and your daughters like to do to bond? We were talking about that a little earlier in the show.
Just hang out. I mean, we'll hang out in the living room or watch TV or take him some Chuck E. Cheese or event or something like that.
Right.
Just hang out and spend some good quality daddy-daughter time. So.
Okay, I dig it. So we talked a little bit about reading. What's the last book you read or current book you're reading?
Don't take stairs with the elevator. Or don't be afraid to take the stairs with the elevator. Or don't. Can't remember the exact name, but basically it's just kind of a reminder of a good friend of mine actually gave it to me, Jim Bensel. But basically it's about not being afraid to take the stairs, but don't always take the elevator. Basically,
okay.
And that's really how I try to plan my life. Take one step at a time, and don't get so in a hurry and try to take the elevator, take the easy way out. Because, at the end of the day, you miss steps.
All right. Okay, so if there was one person that you could meet dead or alive, who would that person be?
That's a good question, man. Dead or alive?
Mm-hmm. Just get some information or knowledge from them.
Man, I guess, I was Jesus, man. I just want to know.
You just want to
I
know?
I want to know everything. But no, yeah, just dead or alive, famous person.
Businessman, entrepreneur.
Businessman. I would like to be Barack Obama too. That would be pretty intense. I think what he's able to accomplish, just as the first African American president, I think that's pretty prolific, and I think I can learn a lot. So
definitely can learn a lot. He's an excellent communicator and speaker, and I want to get to the point. I'm sure you might get to that point where we're doing some public speaking events, where we're teaching and engaging. We got to link up, man. I want to, like I said, I want to start doing some seminars, and I would love to bring you in, and so you can just share some of what you just shared with me as far as home buying process, being a salesman and those type of things. So definitely want to work on that. I want to work on that. I want to just talk about it. I want to be about it. So you need to take action.
Action.
Yeah, and getting that set up. All right, man. So before we get out of here, can you just give us a little words of encouragement or motivation for someone out there who's trying to find their purpose or working on chasing their dream and just some inspiration for those people out there?
I think one of the best things you can do is just be humble. Be humble in all things that you do. Everybody has a tendency to want to be great. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely, you should want to be great. But I think having humility is one of the best things you can do because that allows you to learn through the process. So being humble, having humility, and then at that point, feed your purpose. Identify your purpose, feed it. Something. Your purpose is the thing that gives you joy, wakes you up every day, keeps you going, and gives you the motivation. Again, motivation is and I spoke about this as well, but motivation is a byproduct. I mean, everybody can have a motivation to do anything, but at the end of the day, purpose is what drives you, and that's the thing that you really have to really focus on, identifying what your purpose is.
Absolutely, and I thank God every day for allowing me to find my purpose. I know you found yours, Delano.
My brother, man. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hopefully this isn't the last time that you come in the studio. Maybe we do some type of live event. So you guys be on the lookout. If you're in the market for buying a home, definitely feel free to reach out to him. I put his contact information on the link up there, Delano Mulkey. Thank you, man.
Hey, God bless, bro. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. This is the Ray. This is the Austin Collab Money Talk for another great show. I definitely want to thank my guests. Thank all the listeners out there. Thank you for everyone who checked us out on Facebook. We are on the Fishbowl Radio Network live every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time. We're going to start streaming these shows on Facebook. Also converting them to my YouTube page. So when I get that converted, I'll definitely send that over to you.
Nice. Yeah.
But definitely check us out. I appreciate the support. Everyone have a blessed day.
What's up, man?
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Already.